This piece, Beauty of Diversity, represents the earth and all of the opportunities that are before us. Here in the middle is a double helix, strands of DNA. It's representative of my family and of the 26 deaf family members we've had across the generations. On the right side, the colors in between the DNA strands are regular colors. As you move left, you see images of hands. That's when deaf people emerged and when sign language emerged in our family. When children are young, they're often connected with animals they see in their world. Their first signs relate to animals. Young children tend to use hand shapes which look like the number 5 or a claw, and they enjoy talking about animals. And I'm not talking about fingerspelling or written language. It's theatrical expression of animals in sign language. That concept is represented below the DNA on the bottom. On the left is a galloping horse. Next to that on the right is an animal interacting with the horse. From the bottom, building upon this concept, over here to the left is a thumbnail of my first painting as an artist, Flowers of Language. I thought about the colors that I used from bottom to top. The animals are first signs at the bottom, all the way up to the top with the rainbow. The rainbow has a diversity of colors and goes on forever. There is a black bird within the rainbow that represents a block of some sort, for example, broken hands. I wanted to add this element as well. It's strange. Over here on the right is a chicken. It's wearing a crown, showing that he's a king. And the shape of a crown looks like the forehand shape. Next to the chicken is a cat. Notice the shape of the cat's head is the same shape as the hand shape for the sign of cat. Below the cat is a snake ready to strike. You can see that the snake's head is ready to strike. Its shape is that of a claw. Our hands are ready for language. Hand shapes are readily made. In the center is the diversity of hands are integrated in the piece. Here between the thumbnail and the river are a series of frames. Each represents a different way of expressing oneself. It's like a reel of film with its own story. It's a series of cards of different signs, one next to the other. On the left, where the colors are more muted, represents death. On the right, the series represents life. Looking from right to left, you can see a bridge which spans the river. The series of cards spans the river, as does the double helix. The movement here is lateral, and there's a growth on the right that continues and will carry on. You can see the organic hills and shapes. Up here, the rainbow is seen as if it were continuing off the canvas. Consider the story of Noah's Ark. The animals were gathered 2 by 2. This painting is similar, except where the animals are on Noah's Ark, ASL, ISL, and the world sign languages. Their hands populate this piece. We know each country has its own native sign language. French Sign Language is different than Italian Sign Language. Each language has its own depth and richness. Each language works. The earth is a powerful giver. The beauty of our hand shapes that give words enable us to express meaning, and that infinitely continues. And this is from the heart. It's inspirational. Let me explain this outer area between the frames. In labs, scientists look under microscopes to identify healthy versus sick cells, those with viruses or microorganisms with them. There are people who are overly protective and isolate themselves from others in the world. They shun opportunities for translation of their languages into other languages. They are ultra-protective, and they are represented by the army color green in this middle area. Within this area are lightly colored shapes as well. They're beautiful and provide strength. The gold of this mat symbolizes the richness. It shows that language is sophisticated and deserves its rightful and elevated place.